Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here with a book haul. During Thanksgiving weekend, I paid visits to two of my favorite bookstores. For Black Friday, I went to the Book Garden up in Cream Ridge, which I just did a haul for. And for Small Business Saturday, I paid a visit to the Bookworm in Surf City, New Jersey. And while I was there, I bought a total of 9 books, 4 fiction, 5 nonfiction, and each of them caught my attention for some reason or another, so I thought I would just get right into sharing them. First thing that I got is Vinegar Girl by Anne Tyler, which is supposed to be a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, which I was inspired to pick this up because the concept in general appealed to me. But I also recently picked up Hagseed, which is Margaret Atwood's retelling of Shakespeare's The Tempest. So I thought that perhaps I should look into this as well. While retellings aren't necessarily my favorite thing, we can think biblical and say that East of Eden is a retelling of the book of Genesis, and that one was brilliant. Next thing that I got has caught my attention in some way or another for quite some time, and that is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer, what interested me about this is that Oscar Schell, the subject of the story, some have said that he may have Asperger's syndrome, which those kind of things always interest me right from the get-go. But the work itself has to do with a key that his father left him, which he tells him about following his death during 9/11. He was in the World Trade Center at the time. Oscar goes on an adventure around New York City to figure out where the key opens up to. Next thing that I got is The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. And the one thing that caught my attention right away was the fact that Ishiguro is the most recent winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. But the reason I chose this one is because the plot summary on the back of the book appealed to me the most. And it just has to do with a Lord Darlington's look back at everything that he has accomplished in his life. He's an English butler, and he's just about ready to enter the winding down stages of his life. Next thing that I got is The Making of Zombie Wars, a novel by Aleksandar Hemon. I got another book of his, and I also came across his name because he was an editor for Best European Fiction. And the plot for this one, the fact that it has to do with a starving artist trying to pitch his play and make a name for himself as far as writing is concerned. It just appeals to me, so this was one that caught my attention. The next 5 books that I got fall under the nonfiction genre, and the first one that caught my attention is An Anatomy of Addiction, Sigmund Freud, William Halsted, and the Miracle Drug Cocaine by Howard Markel, which has to do with their experiences of using cocaine and how one became the most referred to psychiatrist, and the other one became a renowned surgeon. Freud is deemed as a neurologist, but he is perhaps the most referred to individual when it comes to psychology. And the fact that Halsted became a well-known surgeon, it really puts that question of drug use to the test. Nevertheless, the image that I get with cocaine is one that Gary Johnson brought up at a third-party debate. Puts holes in your heart. That image to me would keep me away from cocaine and any other drug that is bound to do more harm than good. The next one that I got is The Son, a Biography by David Whitehouse. And I'm into these, I'm getting into microhistories and books about one designated subject written in this kind of format, and it'll be quite intriguing to learn more about the sun and its history and why it is the most important star to Earth and the other planets in our universe. Next two books that I got go perfectly together because they just about go hand in hand with one another, and they're written by the same author. And that is Cold and Heat by Bill Streever. Cold is adventures in the world's frozen places, and Heat is adventures in the world's fiery places. And given that we are coming up to Christmas, Hanukkah, and the Yuletide, you could only think about The Year Without a Santa Claus and the Mr. Heatmeister and his brother, as far as this is concerned. But in each of these, Streever explores some of the coldest and hottest places in the world and experiences that one can endure having to do with the two. And the last book that I got is Other Minds: The Octopus, the Sea, and the Deep Origins of Consciousness by Peter Godfrey-Smith. And I recently got a book called The Soul of the Octopus, and I got a copy of it for my dad. He's since read it. He doesn't have as big of a book collection as I do, so he was able to get to it. But just works about singular animals and singular things in general have interested me, and the fact that this has to do with our studies of consciousness through other animals is just quite intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to checking this one out and seeing what Godfrey-Smith has to say about his research on different sea animals, but particularly the octopus. These are all the books I got while I was at the Bookworm. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you check out some more videos from our channel. I look forward to checking out these books that I just purchased. And for now, and as always, I encourage you to keep reading.